There are two scenarios that may cause you to ask this question. One is that your child will not stay in bed, lay down, and take a nap at all. In other words, they will not comply with instructions to take a nap. They may whine, throw a fit, refuse to get in bed, and etc. The other is that your child will lay down in bed as instructed, but they will not fall asleep at nap time. So the answer to this question depends on which of those circumstances applies. The other thing to note before I go into the step-by-step is something to keep in mind. You cannot make your child go to sleep. Sleep is a natural process of their mind and body. All you can do is set up the circumstances for them to go to sleep and require them to comply with your instructions. But sleep itself is up to their mind and body. So don't feel like you're failing if you do all these things and your child still doesn't actually fall asleep. That's okay. They still need nap time. If your child will not get in bed, lay down, and take a nap at all, here's what to do. Number 1, make sure they're getting adequate nighttime sleep. One of the misconceptions about getting a child to go to sleep is that if they are more tired, they will go to sleep faster, and sometimes that is true. But another cause for them actually not feeling sleepy can be that they're not getting enough sleep at night. This will cause them to be more irritable, which will build up cortisol and adrenaline in their system, which will make them jittery and less likely to fall asleep at nap time. So first, make sure that they're getting adequate sleep at night. Number 2, have a regular routine. A toddler is going to comply with your instructions to take a nap if that is the routine they're used to and what they expect. To randomly tell them to take a nap when they didn't know that was coming is not going to go over well. A regular nap time is as important as a regular bedtime. Usually nap time after lunch works best. Number 3, fill up their need for attention. Every child has a need for attention from their parent, so be sure that you're filling that need throughout the day on a regular basis. This will eliminate the problem of them seeking undue attention at nap time, and it will also relieve you of any guilt you may feel that will cause you not to follow through on making sure that they comply and take a nap. Number 4, give instructions. Even if your child is very young, instructions can be given. For a child who is 2 years old or younger and still in a crib, that may be just, it's time for nap and you are to lay down now and be very quiet. For a child who's 3 or 4 and in a toddler bed, you may be able to say more like, sleep is very important so that you feel good and that you're healthy. So I expect you to lay down and be quiet and stay in bed until I come to get you when nap time is over. If you want your child to know to get up when nap time is over all by themselves, you can see the link in the description below to a sleep timer that will do that for you. But either way, make sure that they understand what you expect of them. Number 5, make sure there are no distractions. Putting your child in a crib or toddler bed that has lots of toys and books and other distractions is not going to be conducive to them drifting off to sleep. So make the room as dark as possible and be sure that they have only one stuffed toy to sleep with so nothing will keep them from drifting off. Number 6, require them to lay down and be quiet. As I said before, you cannot require your child to go to sleep. Again, this is a process of their body and their mind. But you can require them to lay down and be quiet. If their routine is as it should be, they are in a quiet place with no distractions, and they are getting adequate sleep at night, their body and mind will take over, and they will fall asleep if their body needs it. So you are only requiring them to comply with the circumstances that will allow them to fall asleep. This is that they lay down and be quiet. If they are doing that and they don't fall asleep, that's okay. As long as they have a quiet time in bed laying down, they will sleep if their body needs it. Just let them have that time to rest and don't worry about it. But if they do not lay down and you have made it very clear that this is what you expect, then you must back up your words with actions. Number 7, back up your words with actions. So if they get out of bed at nap time or do not lay down and be quiet as you have instructed, do not get angry. If you've watched my other videos, you'll know that this circumstance is an opportunity to teach and train your child to behave. Don't see this as your child personally assaulting your authority. Instead, see it as an opportunity to teach them obedience because you love them and you want what is best for them. With this attitude in mind, walk into the room and look them in the eye and repeat your instructions by saying, "I told you to lay down, be quiet, and stay there until nap is over. You did not do what I said." Then give them a swift swat or two with your hand on their diaper, or if they don't have a diaper anymore, their clothed bottom. This action isn't really going to hurt much at all. They just won't like it. It's only giving them a clear picture that you will not allow them to disobey and you expect them to lay down as you said. It's showing that when you give instructions, you will back them up with actions. This concept will apply not only to nap time, but to a lot of other circumstances. The point here is, I know this is probably going to be different than all the other YouTube videos and parenting blogs that you've read on this subject, but please listen to the end so you'll understand the context of what I'm saying here. If you're having trouble getting your child to lay down at nap time, I'm not talking about going to sleep, but laying down and being quiet when you tell them to, the answer is to take charge. That's the answer. What I mean is, if a parent is asking how to get their child to do something they know is best for them and the child will not comply, the question really is, how can I get my toddler to obey, isn't it? This same question can apply to, how do I get my child to eat their food, pick up their toys, take a bath, sit still? That doesn't mean that a swift swat is the answer to all those situations. It's not. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that the answer is to take charge. And there are different ways to do that depending on the circumstances. If your child is not complying when you tell them to lay down in their bed to take a nap, it's likely they are not complying with other instructions they don't like as well. After the swift swat and wailing, simply leave the room and repeat this process until they comply. Here's the bottom line. The answer is to change the dynamics of the parent-child relationship by making sure they know the 3 things every child needs to know. The third of which really applies to this situation. Every child needs to know that you love them, that you want what's best for them, and most importantly, to answer this dilemma, that they know you will do whatever it takes to make sure what's best for them is done. These are the 3 things every child needs to know. So let's say your child is having tantrums at nap time or any other time. How can you take charge then and build your relationship with them? Should they get a swift swat on the behind for a tantrum? Well, not in my opinion, no. That is when you can use the CTM method. If you don't know what that is, you can click on the screen now to see a step-by-step instructional video on how to stop your child from throwing tantrums and take charge without spanking. And if you enjoy the content here and want to support me in a more personal way, see the Buy Me a Coffee link in the description below. Parents, you can do this. I hope to see you here again next time.